The foundation, named after former WSU quarterback Tyler Hilinski, announced a major partnership with the NCAA. Their goal is to focus on mental health in athletics.
A surprise sunrise concert for unsuspecting Washington hikers. Tonight we'll have more on the musical Mountaineer.
High pressure continues to hold across the Pacific Northwest, but we are tracking some active weather out in the Pacific, and it's headed our way. I'll tell you when it arrives next.
Hi everyone, it's good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
And I'm Mark Hanrahan. A North Idaho prosecutor ruled a Bonner County woman was justified in shooting and killing her neighbor last October. 39-year-old Josh Cole was killed not far from his home in a rural part of the county.
Before the shooting, investigators said Cole was acting aggressively toward his neighbors and approached the woman who shot him. Cole's family claims he was provoked and the shooting was racially motivated. KREM 2's Taylor Vito has been following this case. He joins us live from the newsroom now with more. Taylor.
Well, guys, the Bonner County coroner has confirmed that Cole was shot in the back. That, the family says, is something they believe is essential in showing that he wasn't the aggressor. But detectives and prosecutors say otherwise, noting that Cole walked onto his neighbor's property and acted threatening. In the weeks after the shooting, a memorial to Josh Cole remained along this road near where the shooting happened. It was in mid-October of last year when a neighbor near Rebel Ridge Road in the Clagstone area called 911 after seeing 39-year-old Josh Cole act strangely while drunk.
As they were driving down Rebel Ridge, Mr. Cole jumped out of the woods, started chasing them, yelling at them, cussing at them.
Cole at one point dropped his pants and exposed himself to the neighbor, prosecutors said. Next, his neighbor across the road, Jamila Hall, came outside her home to see what the commotion was about.
Mr. Cole turned and started charging after Jamila.
In a letter calling the shooting justified, the Bonner County prosecutor said that Cole approached his neighbor with his shirt off and muscles flexed. He was unarmed. Investigators said the neighbor told Cole to leave, but he didn't. The neighbor's mother then started to throw rocks at Cole, and he started to charge at her. When he was a few feet away from the mother, Hall fired a single shot at him. The mother then called 911 as Hall started life-saving measures. The prosecutor called the shooting a, quote, justifiable homicide, saying that Cole was acting aggressively. He also noted that the shooter, Hall, told Cole to back off, but he didn't and continued to move towards her on her property. But Cole's family is disputing that.
Self-defense should be out of the question.
That's Tina Johnson, Cole's girlfriend and mother of his youngest daughter. She spoke with us last fall, a month after the shooting. She and the family questioned where Cole was shot, in the back. They had said he was a peaceful man.
Would Josh have laid his hands on either one of those women? No. Did he? That's the most important thing. Did he? Did he lay his hands on them? No, he didn't.
But Cole's family claims another factor was at play. Race. Hall and her mother were black. And Cole's family thinks the women stereotyped him as a racist skinhead.
I think that they looked at him in that manner. He was a white man with a bald head covered in tattoos.
But detectives say that wasn't the case.
They did not believe it had anything to do with race as far as Mr. Cole aggressing them. I don't believe race had any factor in any of this.
Detectives noted the case was emotionally tough for everyone involved, but ultimately, a prosecutor determined that Hall and her mother believed Cole to be a threat, and the shooting was reasonable. The Bonner County prosecutor noted that Cole's criminal history, which included what he called, quote, crimes against women, he said that gives credibility to the neighbor's belief that Cole was a threat. Cole's sister denied that he committed crimes against women and said he had turned his life around. In the newsroom, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Taylor, thank you very much. The Idaho State Fire Marshal ruled Saturday's deadly house fire in Sandpoint an accident. An autopsy shows 2-year-old Andre Hyder died from smoke inhalation. Andre's father and another adult were able to get out of the house through a second-story window, but told firefighters they couldn't get to him through the flames. The state fire marshal says he'll release the specific cause of that fire this week.
The foundation, named after former WSU quarterback Tyler Hilinski, is teaming up with the NCAA Sport Science Institute now. According to a post on the Hilinski's Hope Facebook page, the partnership aims to promote mental wellness in college athletics.
The NCAA chief medical officer says working with Hilinski's Hope will help research and implement strategies to better understand the issues. Wednesday will mark 1 year since Hilinski took his own life. His family says his brain was later found to have evidence of CTE, a degenerative brain disease often found in athletes and veterans.
Taking a turn to our local forecast now, the inland Northwest should continue to see dry weather for a few days.
Let's get right over to Tom Sherry in the Weather Center for more on that, Tom.
Yeah, we still have a, what am I trying to say? Thank you. I was going to say weather warning, and that's not true. It's an air stagnation advisory. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what kind of threw me here is I kind of thought Spokane would get under this air stagnation advisory by today. Remember, this was raised last Friday, and it was everywhere in the eastern Washington, including Lincoln, Adams, and Grant County. But the opposite has happened. We've actually seen it go away in Adams County, Grant County, and Lincoln County. So now it's just to the north of us, just to the south of us, and just to the west of us, and certainly not in the Spokane area. So perhaps we will continue to see pretty good air quality through the next several days. The air stagnation advisory in effect until Wednesday at 7 in the evening. That's after that time period, we'll see much more active weather head our way, meaning rain and snow showers developing on Thursday. In the meantime, we'll deal with cold overnight lows dropping down into the low 20s. Could see some freezing fog tomorrow morning, and we hope to burn off that fog and see partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. We'll look for a daytime high Tuesday of 32. It warms into the low 40s by the weekend, but there's that active weather that I talked about, mostly in the form of rain. Could be some late night or early morning snow showers. But in the meantime, I remind you about that air stagnation advisory that is in effect counties to the west and north of us. I'll have the rest of your 10-day forecast in a few minutes.
Sounds good, Tom. Thank you very much. Well, tonight we continue our journey through some of Spokane's most notable neighborhoods and how they've transformed over time. So last week, we showed you how one coffee shop in the South Perry district kickstarted the area's revitalization and how locals are working to revamp Hilliard's reputation.
Tonight, we take you to the Garland district. It's had its ups and downs, but longtime businesses anchor that community. KREM 2's Alexa Block takes us to the Garland district and some of the businesses that help make it what it is today.
For decades, the businesses here in the Garland district have allowed the community to thrive, from the famous Milk Bottle restaurant to the historic Garland Theater. It's arguably one of the hippest neighborhoods in Spokane. Art, food, and entertainment. The Garland district has a little bit of something for everyone.
Up and coming.
And if you're looking for a burger or a homemade shake, look no further than the Milk Bottle. You can't miss it. There's a giant milk bottle on the front. It was built in the 1930s for Benoit's Creamery chain. It was known for ice cream, but soon they started slinging burgers. Tom Ritchie's parents owned the Milk Bottle for 20 years before passing it on to him.
It means a lot to the community that we keep that going.
But the Milk Bottle almost ran dry after a fire in 2011. They were shut down for months, but the community continued to support their business.
We all actually thought they were going to leave and go somewhere else. It took a lot of work to get it back up and going.
About a decade after the Milk Bottle was built in 1945, the Garland Theater is built. The theater was the place to be as the Garland district began to take shape.
It was one of the premier movie theaters in the Pacific Northwest.
Today, it's still the only independently owned theater in town, and it's been a source of entertainment for years.
Meeting people that just have grown up with the theater and love the theater. So it definitely is a very personal thing to be a part of.
As some businesses stand the test of time, others are just getting started. North Hill is new on the block, located on the bottom floor of the former Masonic Lodge on West Garland Avenue.
We love the North Hill district, we love this area, and so taking an old building like this and bringing some to the community was just something we were passionate about.
And if we've learned anything from these business owners, it's that the people who live, work, and play here have made it what it is and continues to be. Reporting from the Garland district, Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
The milk bottle, you can't miss it. There's a giant milk bottle in front.
Giant milk bottle in front of it.
It is a cool neighborhood, the Garland District, right?
Yes, it's great. Yeah.
I love hearing these stories about these local neighborhoods.
Yes,
cool
fun.
series.
Good job, Alexa.
For sure.